Welcome to the Track from Scratch series, and today's video is the first. It's talking about how to start a track with full creativity. I'm going to show you a couple of ways that I start tracks that help me be in a creative mindset and really allow me to start as I mean to go on and write a really interesting track. You know, a lot of the times people start with drums. I don't tend to start with drums. I tend to start with something that gives me inspiration. And I'm going to show you another little trick as well. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and share this with a producer who needs to start their tracks better. Enjoy the video. Boom! Yes, you lot. Today, we're finally doing it. We're doing a track from scratch. Buzzing. So, I have recently changed the way that I do my workflow. So essentially what this video is my new workflow. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. So before I show you any of this stuff, I want to show you, hold on one sec. So before I start, I want to show you lot this. This is my new way of working. So essentially, we're going to make folders full of presets and samples that suit different keywords that we associate with songs. So where does this come from? Right. When you go into a project, you want to have your tools there. Imagine if you're a painter, you wouldn't go to the canvas with no paint on your palette. You would already beforehand think of what colors you need, what colors you want to work with for the kind of drawing you want to do. Why not do that for making your music? So we have our colors here, or are sort of we're sort of categorizing it. So we've got uplifting, sunset, driving, tech house, dark, garage, rave, underground. That's what we're going to be working with today. So in here I've got a bunch of different samples. They're all in 4A, but you don't have to do it just by key or whatever. You can kind of just go through. So let's say this side here, go through each sample pack. Like, see me, I've got a ridiculous amount of sample packs, but if you go through all of these and you start dragging it in the folder, so like, look, for example, let's say we wanted this. We don't want it, but let's say we did. All we would have to do is drag that, go onto this, drop it, and it's going to load up there. It's going to move it to there, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that is the basic way of doing this method. I'm not sure how you do it on Mac, but I presume it'd be a very similar way. But once you've built up a folder full of these samples, you also want to do it with your presets. Let me just double check. So within your plugin, all you would really need to do is, once you've got presets that you like, so let's say, for example, we like this one. Or this one, actually. Let's say we like that one. We would go over here. We would go save preset as, save it as whatever we want, and then it'll load up here. So let's just save synth 1. It would then load up on repro. So you couldn't save it to the folder, I'm pretty sure, but you can at least save it here and have a bank of all your favorite sounds. You could maybe put a sort of tag before them to say like TS or TH Tech House, so that you know that those are Tech House presets, or Minimal Deep Tech MDT. You would have that beforehand. I'm pretty sure just because the actual presets for each VST are native to the actual, VST. So it would be better to just sort of keep those presets within the VST's folder, rather than have them in this folder where it's just a bunch of different VST. Like, you wouldn't know which one would go where, for example. So let's get on with the video then, I guess. So how do I start a track? I start with my hook. I always do, because this is the hardest part. So let's just go. Also, this is what I'm going to do as well. I saved it for this video. I'm going to add this folder to FL Studio so that I can look at it within the DAW. So follow exactly what I'm doing. File, click here, click one of these, and yeah, I'm going to save this as a/inspo. Cool. So Let's go on to the beat making inspo. Here we go. Dark garagey.
The beat.
You know, I was special link to the farm.
I kind of like.
You know,
I don't mind so much the.
special link. I was special link to the farm. I guess you can say I have a higher source.
I don't mind those two bits there. So what I'm gonna do, chop it up. And sort of.
I was special link to the farm. I guess you can say I have a. You know, but everybody's not down with this connect. You know, but everybody's not connection. Seem to be blind force. Connection.
So I kind of want to make sure I'm limiting what I'm doing. You don't have to obviously limit what you're doing, but I like to, so that I just kind of know what I'm working with and I'm not straying away from it too much in terms of your hook. Because see here, quite a lot of this could be quote unquote the hook, or you could just call all of this the hook. But I want to come up with an actual sort of like garagey kind of vibe to it. So obviously this video is going to be how to make a garage track, but that's not what I want you to take from the video. What I want you to take is the workflow and what it looks like start to finish making a track. So we've got our sample there. We are going to come back to it and properly turn it into our hook, but for now we know that this is what we want. So cool, let's leave that there. Let's get a kick. So I tend to use the same kicks most of the time just because it makes life easier. But while you're making your track, if you find, oh, the kick I've used isn't really working for the track, then change it. It's so simple. Or if you wanted to change it, this is what you would do. So let's go on our kicks here. So let's say we've made a 4x4 pattern. And we wanted to change that now. We would go on here, click that, make sure that's clicked, click that again and hit shift and down. Now, look, it's changing it based off these. And it works for any sample. I just dropped game on y'all then. So that is a really good way of just getting the right kick for your track without taking up too much creative time. So let's go back to the sample we was using. I'm not going to have it there. I'm going to have it 132. Swing on about 70. I say for garagey tracks, you want to be more in the 70 region. But to truly get that garagey sound, I will show you that very soon. But yeah, 65 to 70, pretty good for that kind of garagey swing. So, standard stuff. Let's get a 4-bar, 8-bar, 16-bar loop going. Let's just kind of, get a bass sound in now that we like, that we think, yeah, that just hits where it needs to hit from our folder.
You know.
The beat.
That's probably the one I like the most. I just can hear some sort of vision with that. So I'm going to get it into SliceX and chop it. So yeah, get your SliceX up, drag your sample in, perfect all regions. If it doesn't already have the markers, there, auto slice, medium auto slicing, and then do that again. What that's going to do is stop all the clipping and all the clicks when you switch from sample to sample. So now that we've done that, let's come up with a pattern. Keeping in mind, this is quite a garagey track. not too bad. I just kept listening to it over and over again to sort of imagine, can we add more to this, or is it too cluttered? And can we sort of envision this going anywhere? And I think I'm not too keen on this bit, but the rest of it I am. So I'm just going to try and refine this bit. Bit better now. It's a little bit more simple. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Actually, no, what we will save it. Just fucking hold on. No, what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're not gonna save it till afterwards. Fuck it. Don't do what I've just done. Always save your projects, but fuck it. Right, cool.
I was special link to the funk. I guess you can say I higher source. I was special link to the funk.
So now I'm gonna try and sort of get something out of this vocal that matches with the bass line and kick now.
I was special link to the funk.
Now, I bet you lot are asking, why am I not moving on to the drums? It's because this is hard, this bit I'm doing now. This bit is something you should not skip, and it's taking time to truly make your hook memorable and something that you want to come back and work on and listen to. Because if not, the listener's not going to like it. So this is why I'm giving myself, you know, a bit of time to actually do this rather than trying to rush further down the line. If we can do this now, the rest of it will fall into place.
I was special link to the funk. I guess you can say I have a high. I guess you can say I have a higher source. I guess you can say. I guess you can say I have a higher source. I guess.
So kind of like this bit.
I guess you can say I have a higher source.
I like that. I like how.
I guess you can say I have a higher source.
I like how it's like a higher source, like
Higher source.
on the drop. I like that. Well, not on the drop, on the downbeat actually. But we might make it on the drop. We might just keep it where it is. But yeah, I like that. That's cool. So let's chop that out and just leave that there. Now let's work with the rest of it because we might make chops. We might do whatever.
Higher source. You know what? I was special link to the funk. I was funk. To the funk. To the funk. To the funk. To the funk. 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 You know, but everybody's not down with this connection. You know, but everybody's not down with this connection. But everybody's not down. You know, but everybody's not down with this.
I like this bit.
You know, but everybody. You know, but
I like that.
you know, but everybody's not down with this.
I don't mind that all, to be fair.
Not down with this. Funk. To the funk. To the funk. Not down. You know, but everybody's not down with this connection. You know, but everybody's not. You know, but everybody's not down with this connection. Connection.
So yeah, all of it I can sort of see working, but what I'm noticing is that it's not really going to work as chops or a very standout kind of hook. It kind of works better more in the background as like a vocal that keeps things from getting stale. So go back to the drawing board and actually find a hook. So let's find like a synth or something.
The beat.
know, but
So we might have to go with this one as the actual like main sort of hook. But what I am noticing is that we could layer this bass with this bass. So let me show you what I mean. This may not work, but we're gonna try it anyways. So same thing, perfect all regions, and see the gaps here now between these hits. Let's see if we can fill these.
I guess you can say I never.
I'm gonna mute this. So see here how it's quite busy. We want to leave that alone, but maybe here we could put. They're bouncing off each other. That's cool. So in a way, it's a little bit hooky that, you know, because people will come back to the track for that. But we want something a little bit more prominent, I would say. So I like that for now. But now let's really just go and try and find this hook. Let's just have a look through this. Let's just see if there's anything.
I'll be by your side all time, and then we move on out. There's a fire in your heart, the bullet in the gun, enemies with love. I'll be by your dream that I.
So really what we're looking for is something that grabs us and goes, yeah, that sounds cool. And then we can see if we can make that work. Right now, I'm not hearing anything that I think, yeah, that's going to stick.
Switch on, switch on, light on, light on, light on, light on, light on, switch on.
It's a bit more in the direction there, that the way it's repeating, the delay on it, it's nearly there.
Switch, fight, fight, with fight.
You know what? Let's just try it. Fuck it. Let's just try it. Right, so cool. I don't know how many bars we've got there. All right, so we've got about 16 bars. So let's just try and make sure that when this starts on the 1, it's not just a little bit before, it's on the 1, if that makes sense. So So I'm quite lucky because that sounds pretty much in time already, but I know it's not going to be because listen. So the way to get this in time is that we know that that is going to be there because lights on, switch on, like the on hits on the beat, which is the downbeat, which is this thick line here. If you zoom out, it's still the downbeat. So let's chop here. Turn this into stretch mode, stretch it to go there, and then extend it back out by turning that off now. Alright, so because this is quite an old recording, the issue is obviously whoever recorded this didn't really do it in time. Now this is natural for older recordings, so here's what we're going to do. Because we know this is just repeating, it's saying the same thing, let's chop out a bit that is in time. Chop out that bit there. Stretch that out. So obviously it's not the most in time really, is it? But it'll still do for the context of the track. Now, I'm just doing this to make sure that there's no clipping. Not clipping, there's no clicks that will occur. So now, mute that, copy it over again, but get the next bit now, the switch on bit. And do the exact same thing. Find the downbeat. So we ideally kind of want the first bit of it. So there. It goes from lights on to switch on. So see how I'm kind of see how when this gets quieter and it starts to get louder, that's kind of what I would call the peaks and troughs. So trough, peak, we're kind of wanting the start of a peak is kind of lining up with the grid. Now this isn't a be all or end all kind of rule, but it helps me navigate samples even when I'm not sure what I'm doing. So now if we was to stretch this, it would also stretch that. So we don't want to do that because that's how we want it. So click that, make unique. It's going to make a completely new version that we can now go and stretch, and it will not affect the other one. As we're saying the peaks and troughs, I'm looking at that one thinking if we could just get that on the line, it would be in time. That rhymed. So see how the second bit's in time, but the first bit's not. So we're nearly there. We're very nearly there. Make it slightly shorter. I'm happy with that for now. Let's just chop this down. Oh shit. Undo that. Shit. Yeah, there we go. Undo that. So we've got our two hooks there. Let's listen. So I don't even like the lights on, I just like the switch on. So let's just keep that. And where's this now? I don't really like this note. Cool. So if we were I just think it's a good starting point. I definitely think there's potential to turn that into something a lot more cool and atmospheric, and that's kind of what the intention with the vocal is, because obviously the bass line, there's two bass lines bouncing off each other. We kind of want, you know, this vocal, this hook to sort of layer that, and rather than be the upfront focus, it gives a human feel to it, but it's not overcrowding. That's why I didn't like the lights on. I felt like that was way too overpowering from the bass line. You want them to work together, and I feel like these two do work together. Cool. I would say for our hook generation, that is done now. We've kind of found a couple samples which will work with a bass line, and we're at a really good point foundation wise now. I don't think we've probably picked the best vocal samples, but the point of this video isn't to show you how to make a banger. The point of this video is to show you how to make a track start to finish. And let's picture in a world where these were samples we were 100,000,000% happy with. This is what we would do. But for the sake of this video, I would rather just show you how to get on with things. So that being said, let's go on with the next bit of the video, which is the drum groove.